For today's episode of Back to the City, I'm very excited indeed to be joined by collage-oriented orchestral art pop group HAR-DI-HAR, aka Andrew and Julie. Welcome.
Thank you.
Also exciting is the fact that you're going to be releasing your debut LP on Friday. That's going to be available iTunes and everywhere else and in stores locally on Friday.
Yeah.
Then you're going to go on a tour.
Yes.
And on Friday, October 6th, the Ice House show, which is with LPF and Hippolymus. So that's a significant thing about what's happening at Ice House, and also it's going to be the first time that you perform as, is it a 7 or a 10 piece? How many people are going to be?
Yes is the answer, yeah.
Both.
It's going to be a core 5-piece band.
Yep.
And then we're going to have 2 special guest vocalists with us, and then feature 3 auxiliary brass players.
Yes.
So a total of 10.
Okay.
But but mainly 5, and also primarily 7, and sometimes 10.
All the numbers.
Yes, we gotta keep you guessing.
But like the maximum amount will be 10, and the minimum amount will be 2.
These number references make me think of I Will Go Slow, with numbers taking over our brain, and they're always out there looming, judging, growing, shrinking. That could be about how many people are in the set.
It was a prophetic lyric
Totally
about
the band.
October 6th.
Yeah, there you go. So let's name a few of these people that are in the band. You've got Nikki Steves from aka City Councillor.
Yeah.
You have Eric Carranza, who is in Hot Date. You've got Jenny Lawless. Who else is in the band, and how did you collect this configuration?
The gentleman playing drums is Patrick Marshke.
Okay.
He has a really, really incredible solo drum project called 1A.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
It's awesome. You should check it out.
Which is, really, really, really rad. I met him through the Six Families collective.
Yeah. What is it for people who don't know?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know if I'm the expert on it, but it is a group of musicians that organize shows and that have collective mentality. It's more on, I think, more on the like experimental avant side of things, improvisation based. But there are a lot of musicians associated with that group are in rock bands, pop bands, and things like that too. Yeah. So I think they're just like a welcoming, good vibe, supportive community of forwardly strange thinking musicians.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the best kind of community. Or that's a good kind of community to be involved in. So that's where you encountered the drummer.
Yeah.
Yes, and Noah Ophoven Baldwin, who will play trumpet, whose brainchild was Trombone Band.
Ah, yeah. Okay. And other members of Trombone Band are the other brass players.
That's right. Yeah.
And then the acoustic guitar and electric guitar player is Jonathan Sunday, whose project is J.E. Sunday.
Yeah, can't forget him.
Yeah, no, we cannot. And we know him from music for a long time, and we're good friends. Andrew actually plays when he does a trio.
Yeah. Yeah. So, of course, you're generally a duo. And in the bio, it highlights that HAR-DI-HAR's live performance invites the audience in as a familial witness to the vivid, awkward, and vulnerable life of their own intimate relationship through performance on stage. And I understand that coming through in kind of performance art, you're sharing a drum kit, or there have been times when you've been sharing a drum kit.
Yes.
So let's begin by going back to the 2-piece entity HAR-DI-HAR. How are you kind of using the 2-piece to dramatize something about interpersonal relationships? Of course, this is going to be different at Ice House, but how is it usually? What's the significance of the usual performance?
We should preface by saying we do not do the shared drum kit anymore.
Yeah, I thought not.
And I think like most things, we made a decision that we didn't truly fully understand at the time.
Right.
And so we made this decision to do in 2012 when we started playing around with HAR-DI-HAR. We decided to do the split drum kit because Andrew was like, I don't want to be the typical duo that plays to a drum machine.
Yes.
And honestly, I do not remember why. I don't know how in the world we decided to come up with the shared drum kit.
So who would play what?
I would play the hands of the drum kit. So we had this like weird kit that we found. It's crazy, where the toms swiveled out, and it had a floor tom was a kick drum, the kick drum. So it was like smaller and compact. And so I would play the toms. I had my own snare and my own hi-hat. And then I would play the keys with my right hand and sing. And Andrew would be sitting playing the bass drum and another hi-hat that he had.
Okay.
So the feet of the drums, and then playing guitar, bass guitar, sometimes trombone, and singing.
It was a Yamaha hip gig, Al Foster Senior.
There it is.
Kit.
For all you drum nerds
which all
out
packed
there.
into the bass drum, which was super great because it was super compact.
Yeah, for touring.
Yeah.
Was that the original manifestation of HAR-DI-HAR?
It was.
Yeah.
We did that for 3 years, and as we continued doing it, we realized that the drum kit was a symbolism of this
connecting factor.
Yeah, like showing a live way to show how we collaborate and the awkwardness of it, because it was awkward for sure. Like it wasn't like a perfect beat. Neither of us are primarily drummers, and you would also be watching this kind of strange interplay.
Yeah,
and
which is happening with a band anyway, but not usually through playing one instrument.
Yeah.
It was a challenge to me too to be like, can we arrange songs in a way for a 2-piece to play that sound like a 3 or 4-piece band? So it was a challenge too for songwriting and arranging in that I would have to make sure that the rhythm that I was playing with my feet was complementary to the rhythm of the guitar or bass part, and that I didn't have a vocal part that was impossible to sing with that. Yeah. But then again, like writing parts that were really challenging in that way, like made me a better musician and made me a better musician. Yeah. So it was also like kind of utilitarian in that way.
Yeah, it helps you to flourish and to push yourself to the next thing.
It was also cool. Ridiculously hard.
It was very hard.
Which is why we stopped.
Sounds like it. Yeah. So once you stopped doing it, what happened in the meantime, and in what other ways do you feel like you're using the performance art component to say something about relationships or about human connection?
Yeah. It's hard to answer that question without maybe just telling a bit more of the story.
Yeah, do please. We like stories.
Yeah, I do. I love stories. So we've been touring since 2012 with the drum kit and this iteration of HAR-DI-HAR. And, to make a long story short, which maybe we'll delve into later, but we, in 2015, we decided to take a break. And really I decided that I needed to take a break. And
you're like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, I just got to a really bad place for me and I think our relationship. And so in taking that break, and again, long story short, we were separated from the project for quite some time, and I was uncertain whether I wanted to do it again. But one of the stipulations was, if I decide to do it again, we are not doing the split drum set.
Okay. You'll have to find a new way to think about interpersonal connections, which is kind of the whole record itself. Yeah, is now thinking about relationship, about your relationship.
A lot about our
that was the springboard for the lyrical content and the musical arrangements and such, was what was going on in our relationship before we stopped. While you slide, I hide beside you. Performance art has always been something that we wanted to incorporate into the project, but we never have valued it enough. Or I think in some ways because we were doing the drum kit thing and it was so hard, we never had time to, because we had to rehearse like so much just to make it not sound terrible. And
or just to sound like a mediocre
drummer. Exactly. So since we weren't doing that anymore, we've had some more time to start exploring the performance of our show, which has involved some separate performance pieces, and also we like to play around with the intimacy and the connection piece as well.
Like the whole set and music is intimate and romantic and about relationships. So we kind of view the performance pieces as ways that allow people to enter into that space.
Every show that we've played here, for the most part,
we've done it differently.
Since we started up again, we've tried to do a different one, and they all. We decided to limit ourselves by having all of them involve this white rope that we have, and we use the rope to represent human connection in different ways.
Yes.
And we like to play around with the idea of just how challenging it is to be in human relationship. You know, it's like all or nothing, or, you know, where's that balance?
Feeling tethered or tied down.
Smothered, but also needing the other person. Like just all of that tension that comes along with being with someone in a world where commitment and intimacy are not really taught
or trendy, or whatever.
Absolutely.
You know?
So all of these songs are exploring those areas. What role has this white rope played in the performance of the song so far?
We actually haven't done anything within while we're playing.
Okay.
We've tried to think about doing that, but we have so many wires in our setup that every time we've thought about what if we did this with the rope? It's like
health and safety.
I don't really think we can do that.
It's a metaphor for a MIDI cable that connects us. You know, I'm just realizing this now. So thank you.
There we go. That's what we aim for.
Yeah.
It turns out most things are about MIDI cables.
Yeah, that's right.
It turns out. Yeah.
It's all about the MIDI clock.
You do have a song where time is going to be important, which does reference a clock.
Oh yeah,
But Kevin Whaley, the dance troupe, are involved in the music video for The Wonder. When does that come out?
It will come out sometime before the show. The other person we're collaborating on that video is our good friend Shannon Burnett, who's a visual artist. And a lot of the concept of the video is her ideas of this imagery to follow the song. We kind of gave her the song to listen to forever, and she just listened to it for a long time and came up with these concepts with us to experiment with.
Yeah.
So a lot of the video is utilizing oblique movement that Kevin Whaley is doing,
and they're sort of known for that type of movement.
They're so
responsive movement.
They're so good at improvising with sound, with music.
They are
in really fascinating ways, and with relationship of body, and it's just it's so cool. They're so good.
As you know, when I was listening to the record, the physicality of the body is something that struck me.
Oh, cool.
I warned you that we would be talking about the body.
Yeah.
And also, specifically within the song The Wonder, the simultaneity of hiding and sliding. We've got two people in a relationship. They're doing simultaneous things. One is hiding, and one is sliding.
The key connecting word, it's while you slide, I hide beside you. So the beside part is important. The record, in a lot of ways, came out of being in a period of separation, and I needed to go on my own journey.
Are you sliding?
Yeah, when I wrote that lyric, I was the one sliding, and Andrew was and is, the one hiding beside me, because he was very patient with me in that process of exploration, I guess, for lack of a better word, and not demanding at all. He totally could have been like a big a-hole about it, but he wasn't. He was just waiting. So that song, The Wonder 2, talks a lot about waiting.
Yeah, waiting on the other person to either figure it out or get through a period of time they're going through.
The sliding, I like that image of it. It's like you're getting farther and farther away, from whatever the thing is. But I'm not gonna pull you back. I'm not gonna tell you you gotta come. I'm just gonna hide beside you. I'm gonna let you just do your thing, and that's totally what Andrew did. And I think we tried to do for each other in our relationship. And I think it's important to do that for anyone if you want to remain connected.
Yeah. The tendency normally is to be like, okay, you're sliding. See ya.
Yeah,
right.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to put up with this or whatever, But that patience is really important in relationship,
Absolutely. How does that patience come through sonically? How did you find the way to communicate or convey that patience in the music?